Okay, guys. Well, the subject of today is I don't know. I've been trying to think of what I want to talk about, and the only thing I can keep talking about is just, my friendship with my fellow, YouTube content creators. I think this kind of came about when, we started noticing some of the OG big content creators are kind of having a little spat and they're butting heads because, who gave that person permission to film on the rides? As far as I know, policy over at Universal, you can't do that. And then someone else is chiming in, and it's just going crazy. Like the whole thing's exploding on social media. And I'm just like, what's this all about? And usually what it's about is when you make YouTube and your content creation part of your job, and that's the way you make money. And so, you're fighting for those pennies on the dollar for every view that you get. And, I don't know. I mean, I've never really thought about myself being at that point where I gotta backstab my friends, people that I hang around with, just to get, a couple of pennies per view. And, I just don't do that. I mean, I have a full-time job. I mean, look, I'm in Scrubs. There's my, my name tag there. I don't need to make money off of YouTube. It would be nice. Let me tell you, it'd be nice. I don't really need to make money off of YouTube. I'm doing it for fun right now. If I happen to make money, I happen to make money on something I enjoy, which is fine. And, I know all the other content creators that I hang around with, they all have jobs, and we're all doing this for fun because that's what we enjoy. We like doing this. And just to see those OGs out there fighting because, that's their job, and trying to be first or a new theme park opens up and people have to have a video of the rides, even though it's against, the theme park's policy and blah, blah. They're just fighting and arguing. It's just like, it's insane. All to get views. And what do views mean to anybody? Besides you're making, YouTube content creation your job. I mean, if you just go out there, be yourself, just show what you can, maybe even ask permission. I mean, maybe if you go to Universal and ask permission and just say, hey, can I get permission to film the ride and try to do it justice? And then they'll send you, the POV of it. And if you approve it, then, I'll go ahead and release it. I mean, they can do that. But I think Universal wants you to kind of like experience the ride for yourself for the first time with all the surprises and stuff like that. That's why you're not supposed to film on this stuff. Plus, there's a danger if you're on a roller coaster and you're trying to film something, especially on your phone. What if that phone gets ripped out of your hand and it hits somebody? It's not going to be the content creator's responsibility. It's going to be the theme park, because you only sue somebody who has the money. You don't sue somebody because the action was done by that person, because they may or may not have money. But you definitely go after that theme park because they allowed that to happen. So that's why those rules are out there, so no one gets injured. But it's just amazing how, it's just like a cutthroat type deal out there when everybody should be out there filming and having fun. I mean, that, with the circle of friends I have out there in YouTube land, that's what we do. We collaborate, we go into each other's film and stuff like that. And, we never wonder if we're ever going to get backstabbed or not. At least I hope not. No, we're all cool, and if we got a big scoop on something, we all share it, and then we all come in with our different perspectives on it. And that's that's what I call true friendship. You know, we just don't like, you know, hold information so we can scoop on it. We just go ahead and share it, and then, you know, whoever wants to go and do it. I know I can't do it. Like, you know, when am I going to get a scoop on something? I'm here at work 5 days a week, get to go to a theme park maybe once a week if I'm lucky, and then, you know, try to do some updates. But, you know, when you're there and it's so crowded that you're trying to stand there filming something and you just feel the current go like this of the people that you're being pushed off from where you want to be, you know, it's kind of hard to do that, but it can be done. You know, you just have to have patience and stuff like that. So you know, it just amazes me that, you know, people just do that. They're so cutthroat, you know. And you know, by the way, if you guys need information on theme parks, you know, I highly recommend the Crash Zero, Chastain's in LA, Adventures with David, the Funnel Cake Vlog. If you want food reviews, let me go back. There's a Tall Guy at the Parks, Dale in LA, and then if you want food reviews, there's Janice Yamanaka. I mean, she'll hit just about every item that you can think of, and, you know, give her opinion about everything. And you know, with these circle of friends, you know, we're working together, we're collaborating and stuff like that. And I don't think we even have any arguments or anything like that. So, but yeah, it's just amazing how, you know, a lot of people will just, you know, trash someone else because they got the scoop, or they did something maybe they weren't supposed to and got away with it, and then they're invited back, you know, to do it and stuff like that. And it's just, so what? Who cares? You know, just because they did it doesn't mean you can do it, or, you know, hey, they scooped you on it. You know, but, you know, just follow the rules. I guess what I'm saying is, if you break the rules and you get caught, you know, you got to know that these theme parks watch your videos. They know who you are because, damn it, they invited you. So if they're allowing this because it's gonna bring people in, I think that's what they want. They want people to come in to enjoy these rides. And I'm pretty sure they won't allow them to put it on a roller coaster. But something like a dark ride, you know, maybe that's allowed. I mean, you can film on, you know, like the studio tours at Universal. You can film on, you know, what is it, that the Pets ride. And, you know, I don't see why Monsters Unleashed you wouldn't be able to film that, because it's a dark ride. It's not a roller coaster. It's not something that's going to be dangerous where if your camera flies out of your hand, it's going to hit somebody. So I don't get why people are just kind of like crying about that. You know, maybe Universal allowed that and you just thought that it was all rides. You know, I mean, come on, you know, I mean, people are filming off of, you know, what was it, Jurassic Park, the ride. They're filming on that one, you know. They're not saying anything about it, but, you know, you're not going to go on a roller coaster and film because they're not going to allow that because, like I said, someone can get injured. I don't know. It's just a crazy world out there. I'm just so glad that I'm with the people that I'm with, and I collaborate with the people that I'm with. And, you know, we all help each other out, you know, when we're up, when we're down. You know, we recommend, you know, other channels. At least I do, you know, because it's no big deal to me to recommend another channel. It's like, why should I, you know, just like say, oh, you don't want to watch that guy, you know, for what? For views. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm going to tell you, you know, you're going to see this, you know, a week from when I recorded this, but my views for the daily vlogs are like nothing. I mean, they get to maybe 30 views and that's it, you know, but I still do them because I'm practicing trying to tell a story and talk without the ums and ahs, you know. It's just getting me to kind of improvise. Like this video, I didn't really have a subject. I just had like a thought about friends and YouTube, and I just put it together and I'm talking about it. Does it make any sense? maybe not, but it's still a story, and there's still something, some type of substance there that I just put together on the fly. I just improvised it. And there's no misinformation. I'm not making up anything unless they're hiding the fact that they are my friends. I don't know. Only they could tell you, in private, that guy. But no, it's, I love the circle of friends I have with YouTube. I do miss one of them. That's Alan from Adventures of an Average Dad. I do miss him. I do miss his videos. He was an excellent video editor, very, very creative, and I always like to film him doing the behind the scenes stuff, because you got to see stuff and how his crazy mind worked, and and then when you actually saw his video, you're just like how'd you put that all together? And he just said, he has a thought, and he could do it. He could put it together, and it's just crazy when you watch it. But again, there's like really no subject, and trying to practice improvising and having the correct information in there as well. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go. I think I've done enough improvising here. I'm tired. A lot of things going down at work that's not really I don't want to say user friendly, but it's just it's kind of like there's stuff like this going on, and we have to put a stop to it, because I don't need things to be out of hand at work, and it just puts too much stress. I had enough of that with home health. I didn't like how they were doing home health, putting pressure and being cutthroat about everything, and it's starting to get like that over in the clinic setting, and that needs to stop. We need to address all the issues and get this crap out of the workplace, because I don't enjoy the stress of it. I got away from home health because of the stress. I'm relaxed here. It's a good job. I don't want to lose it, because we're everybody's kind of like this, and we just got to straighten it out. But we are working it out, but it needs to come a little bit quicker. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching all my videos and making comments. And I know I'm not getting a lot of views out of these, but I don't care. A lot of this stuff is to help me make better videos, and also to post videos, because I've been neglecting that. And luckily I've been doing stuff ahead of time, because I fell asleep again last night and didn't have time to add another video so I can stay ahead. So right now I am on time, but I'm gonna go ahead when I get home and then go ahead and then work on another Knott's Berry Farm video, day 2 that I was there. So hopefully that comes out before this video, so I can work on other stuff, like getting all my Scary Farm videos out, and the long awaited Fright Fest Extreme out there. So anyway, guys, have a good night.